what happened to them is an experience in terror you will never forget, and you will believe in the Amityville horror.
Before continuing our overseas tour of ghost films, we have to make a quick pit stop with Disney's Child of Glass, a 1978 made-for-television film produced by Walt Disney Productions and based upon the novel The Ghost Belonging to Me by Richard Peck. It originally aired on NBC as an episode of The Wonderful World of Disney on May 14, 1978. The film was also re-aired sporadically during the early to mid-80s, often on weekends during the afternoon. Alexander Armsworth and his family move into a spooky old Louisiana mansion that was once the home of a notorious river pirates. Before long, Alexander catches sight of a mysterious little girl and her dog, both of whom turn out to be ghosts. The little girl, Ghost, tells Alexander that her name is Einstein Dumaine, a Creole girl who lived in the 19th century, and appeals to him for help in finding a child of glass. We then take a jump across the pond with Schlacken the Painter, a British television horror movie. It is based upon the 1839 story Strange Event in the Life of Schlacken the Painter by Sheridan Le Fanu, and stars Jeremy Clyde as Gottfried Schlacken and Maurice Denham as Gerrit Dou. It aired on the BBC as an episode of Olympus on the 23rd of December 1979, following the tradition of A Ghost Story for Christmas. The latter half of the 70s would then give us the legendary cult classic based upon the investigations of Ed and Lorraine Warren, The Amityville Horror, a 1979 American supernatural horror film directed by Stuart Rosenberg, based on Jay Anson's best-selling 1977 novel of the same name. It is the first film in the Amityville franchise. A remake was also produced in 2005 starring Ryan Reynolds. The story is based upon the alleged supernatural experiences of the Lutz family, who buy a new home on 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville, New York, a house where a mass murder had been committed the year before. After the family moved into their new house, they claimed a series of frightening paranormal events that occurred to them. The following year would then give us City of the Living Dead, also known as The Gates of Hell, a 1980 Italian horror film directed by Lucio Fulci. It is the first film installment of the unofficial Gates of Hell trilogy, which also includes The Beyond, and The House by the Cemetery. Fulci makes an uncredited cameo appearance as Dr. Joe Thompson in the film. And finally, we end things off with Death Ship, a 1980 British-Canadian horror film directed by Alvin Rakoff. Survivors of a tragic shipping collision are rescued by a mysterious black ship which appears out of the fog. Little do they realize that the ship is actually a Nazi torture ship which has sailed the seas for years, luring unsuspecting sailors aboard and killing them off one by one. Join us next time as we enter a new generation of phantoms as we travel through the 1980s.